Aloha, we are on our 11th day of eating 100% local foods, grown, raised, or foraged here in the Hawaiian Islands. And our cousins have a phenomenal persimmon tree, and they gifted us a bunch, and we think that this is ripe and ready. So we'll peel off the outer skin. All right, that works. That is the goodness there. We are going dessert first, but to go along with this, we've got some venison that someone gifted us and some Java plum chutney that has star fruit and macadamia nuts, and I mixed it with some of the liquid from the pickled red onions that I made, along with some island Skyre, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, from Haleakalā Creamery. And then we have some parsley from the garden and some sambal from High Spice and some elephant garlic raw. And oh my goodness, I am kind of missing poi right now. This would be amazing to have some kind of carbohydrate with this. And I do find that I eat a lot more meat when I do these local food challenges. It's just something that is gifted to us a lot, and it's easy to prepare, and I don't necessarily always eat this much meat, but I find that it's a little bit easier for me to go in that direction. But I'm gonna practice the recipe that I'm excited to go on the journey with. I've never tried it before, and I'm really wanting more kind of grab and go things that I prepare ahead of time that I can just go, because it's like afternoon and I haven't eaten yet today, and I'm so hungry, and it's really hard to kind of put it all together when you get up and do the homeschooling thing and do all the things. And so yeah, stay tuned for that. First part of making these cassava log rolls is I'm down here harvesting some cardamom leaves. I'm going to use these to wrap at least as many as I can on the inner part, hoping to get some flavor of the cassava coconut milk logs or rolls. All right, so I really need help in naming this recipe. Cassava log rolls, I don't know what to call them, but what I'm doing is taking 1 cup of cassava flour. I grew the cassava roots, I steamed them, then I grated them, and then I dehydrated them, and then I ground them into flour. I'm adding, one tip that I have here is that when you're measuring out something from the quart-sized mason jar into a smaller thing so that you don't lose any of your precious goods, I always use these little kind of funnels. This is just another really invaluable tool in my kitchen. So I'm putting that into my mixing bowl, and then I have so that was 1 cup of cassava flour, 1/4 cup of honey, and I'm going to use a spoon to scrape out all of the extra honey in there. A little hard to do one-handed. And then I'm going to measure out 1 cup of coconut milk here, and then I'm going to add some salt. And then I have a friend out in Kipahulu who grew some cardamom, and I have ground it up, and I'm gonna add roughly 1/4 teaspoon to half teaspoon of cardamom powder. And that's it. And then I'm just gonna use my spoon to mash it all up, incorporate it together, and then we'll do the next step. So I have washed up my cardamom leaves, and then I take them and I just kind of roll them to break the stiffness or firmness of the spine. And ooh, it also releases all those nice smells. And so I take 2 leaves and then I just either use a spoon or just my hands and kind of make this into a log. Just a little log shape, and then I'm actually going to start on that end, roll it around. You do want to roll this tightly, and then I'll go in the opposite direction with the other leaf. Okay, it's getting a little wily on me here. And then I have some banana kind of stem that I've done into these long pieces, and I'll use that to tie it off. Put that into the Instapot. So I cooked them in an Instapot, and what I did was I had the little steamer basket on the bottom, and I put the level of water just underneath the steamer basket so that these were not submerged in any water. And then I set it to pressure cook for 5 minutes. And yeah, they come out like this. Obviously, when you first take them out, I use tongs and they're super hot, but I just wanted to give you an idea that that was exactly the amount of water needed for a 5-minute on the pressure cooker setting on an Instapot. All right, so I just want to say mahalo keakua. Thank you to Creator for this beautiful food. I've already eaten like 5 of these. I have had so many failed experiments in my day, and it's really part of the learning process, and you really earn these recipes that are keepers. And this one, right off the bat, I really feel like I nailed it. It's delicious. I feel like this is what I've been waiting for, is just this like food on the go. I can refrigerate this and run to work or whatever and be able to, you know, just bring this along. And so I wanted to share what the texture is like with you. This is cooled down. Of course, they're very hot right out of the Instapot. But yeah, it's just this great consistency, and the flavor is delicious. They're not too dry. They're not too sweet. It's just a great texture, a great flavor. It's something that you could really eat a lot of. You know, it's not like a specialty, super sweet or anything. So anyways, we also got rain here in Wailuku, and it's been so long. So thank you for these blessings on this beautiful day, and may you all find yourself rejoicing with the waters and good food and community. I also got to share these with some folks today, and that was really fun as well. So wild blessings to you all.